Hey everyone, Roshni here. What's up? I'm in my sister's makeup studio, which is by the fancy background. Okay, let's just talk about one question I get asked all the time as a female fitness expert. If you should work out during your menstrual cycle, if it's okay to work out during your periods, and if yes, then what kind of workout should you be doing? Should you be doing cardio, weight training? What should be the intensity of your workout? It is a very broad question, and this video is going to be divided in four parts. Number one, the hormonal changes in the body. Number two, what kind of fitness regimen should you follow around your menstrual cycle? Also, what is the best in terms of helping you gain the maximum muscle mass and use this time to actually manipulate the changes in the body to your advantage. Number three is nutrition, what you should be eating to avoid cravings and the kind of food you should be eating around your menstrual cycle. And number four is special cases. Please watch this video till the very end to get the full gist in sort of what kind of training regimen you should be following, and do not make conclusions after the first point itself. So number one is hormonal changes in the body. I'm not going to discuss a lot of science because I know a lot of people watching the video just want the do's and don'ts. But there are certain hormones you need to keep in mind when designing your workout regimen around your menstrual cycle. Those are, one is of course your cortisol and your serotonin, they go hand in hand. Number two is your endorphins, and number three is your testosterone. Number four is your estrogen, and yeah, that's about it. First is understanding the hormonal changes which go in the body. I'm not going to discuss a lot of science because I know a lot of people watching this video just want a lot of do's and don'ts, what you should be doing and should not be doing. But understanding a little bit about these hormones will help you understand what kind of regimen to plan around your menstrual cycle. The first one being cortisol. The relationship between cortisol and serotonin basically. Cortisol is the hormone released when you're the most stressed, and serotonin is your happy hormone. Serotonin is the hormone which is released when you're happy. Also, when you see like a bar of chocolate and you just want to eat it, that's serotonin. Of course, when you talk to someone who has their menstrual cycle, they're going to tell you the first 2 days you want to do nothing, you just want to be in bed, crib, complain, cry, watch a lot of Netflix, eat a lot of food, and just do absolutely nothing at all. The reason you don't feel like doing anything during your menstrual cycle is because your serotonin level drops, or your happy hormone level drops all the way down. There's not much study which proves that your cortisol level goes up, that is your stress hormone goes up only during your menstrual cycle. But think about it, you're not feeling good about a lot of things when you're on your menstrual cycle. You're bloated, you're agitated, you're getting a lot of premenstrual stress symptoms, and I'll tell you why that happens also in a minute. And if there is any external stress like work pressure or family pressure, relationship pressure, then your cortisol is going to spike and is going to go up, and you're going to get more and more stressed and not feel happy about anything. So cortisol level does slightly also go up when you have a menstrual cycle, and serotonin level goes down when you have a menstrual cycle. So your happy hormones go down. What exercise does is, when you exercise, you release a lot of endorphins. Endorphins work in two ways. Endorphins boost your mood up. Also, they act as natural painkillers. So all of the lower abdomen pain, your muscle cramping, any kind of pain related to periods, a lot of people also get cramps on their legs, and lower body pain in general. Endorphins is going to help combat that. And endorphins is released when you exercise. When you exercise and break down muscle fibers, as a process of recovering those muscle fibers, the body releases a lot of endorphins, which is very, very important. So when you work out and endorphins go high, it's going to make you happier. Your happy hormones are going to go high, your serotonin level goes high, and also you have this natural painkiller acting on your body, so you're not going to be as painful as you would otherwise be. So that's a relationship between those. Now the more important thing is how your estrogen and testosterone acts in the body. Testosterone is a male dominant hormone, meaning it's the hormone released more by men, not so much by women. Testosterone helps you build muscle, among a lot of other things. It gives the male characteristics and a lot of other things. Estrogen is a female dominant hormone, meaning it's released more in females, way much more in females than it is in males. Apart from giving you the female characteristics, it also stores a lot of body fat. Estrogen stores a lot of body fat, and if you think about it, sort of it is like biology. A female body type, a female body is biologically designed for childbirth and childbearing, and you need a lot of good amount of low abdominal fat, a lot of thigh fat. You need good glutes to support a baby when you're conceiving, and to support the baby during pregnancy, and to carry your body during pregnancy. So estrogen, the main job of estrogen, apart from a lot of other things, is to store a lot of body fat. And during your menstrual cycle, it's very important to understand when the estrogen peaks up and down, to understand when your body is best in terms of fat loss, and when your testosterone peaks up and down, to understand what is the best time to gain muscle mass, or what is the best time to build muscle. Now, assuming your period date is 15th of the month, the week leading up to your menstrual cycle, which is 7th up till the 15th, your estrogen level is going to be peaking up. 7th up to the 14th, to the day or the day before your periods, your estrogen level is going to be sort of all-time high. And when your estrogen level is all-time high, you want to concentrate on fat loss and not on muscle gaining, because your bodies want to try and store as much fat as possible because your estrogen levels are higher, and your training has to be around fat loss. So the week before or 10 days leading up to my menstrual cycle, the kind of workout I schedule around is maybe I do weight training and add in a lot more cardio than I would generally do. So maybe the post-workout cardios, this is a good time to have, because cardio is going to help, or steady state cardio is going to help burn a lot of fat, and you want to do that. Do not concentrate on muscle gaining at this time, because the body is going to try and store as much fat as possible. Your diet also has to be catered around this, so you're not gaining a lot of fat. That should be your main objective at this time. Once you get your menstrual cycle, let's say my date is 15th and I get my menstrual cycle around 15th, 16th. Once you get your menstrual cycle, the week you have your menstrual cycle, your testosterone starts spiking up. And when your testosterone starts spiking up, that's when you want to try and build as much muscle as possible. And a lot of your training has to be centered around muscle building. So I wouldn't do a lot of cardio around my menstrual cycle, but I would actually do a lot of heavy weightlifting. Wait till the fourth point at the end of this video to understand this, but a good training regimen would be doing a lot of just weightlifting and weight training, or free body weight training. Look at my video for free body weight training for ideas of the kind of workouts you should be doing, but your focus here should be building muscle mass. It should not be fat loss. And utilize this time when your testosterone level is peaked high. This is when you want to build as much muscle mass as you can. The other time in your entire cycle when your testosterone level peaks high is about 2 weeks after you're done with your menstrual cycle, or 2 weeks to your next menstrual cycle, right in between. This is the time you're most fertile, and also the time your testosterone level sort of shoots up or peaks up. This is when you're most sexually aroused also as a female. So this is the time you want to do a lot of training centered around muscle building, to try and build as much muscle as possible and make use of all the extra testosterone which your body is releasing. It is so important. And if you're a female and you're trying to gain muscle mass, it's really, really hard to gain muscle mass. So make use of this time. Okay. How should your nutrition be scheduled? Now that right before your menstrual cycle, when you're getting the pre-menstrual symptoms of PMSing, you're obviously very, very anxious. You're going to have random mood swings because of the the estrogen level picking up and the change in the hormonal balance of the body, and you're going to want to eat everything, and you're going to want to do everything you should not be doing. You're also probably going through mood swings where you're irritated of people in general and are yelling at people for no reasons. Just basically having a lot of premenstrual symptoms. Don't beat yourself up for it. It's normal. Make sure that you're getting enough micronutrients at this time, so you're not tempted to eat the wrong kind of stuff. And understand, your body is low on cortisol. Your body is high on cortisol and low on serotonin, so your happy hormones are low. And eat any kind of food which helps you boost serotonin. I read this somewhere popcorns actually help boost serotonin. I have no idea why. Maybe it's kind of comfort food. Maybe we relate popcorns to comfort food, and maybe popcorns. But apart from that, fill up on a lot of micronutrients. And what I mean by this is eat a lot of green leafy vegetables, eat a lot of fruits, eat a lot of anything which is as close to nature as possible, so you're getting all the vitamin A, D, E, K. Once your micronutrient levels are up, you're not going to have as much cravings as you would regularly have. Now when you have your menstrual cycles, your body is going to want to eat more food than normal, because your resting metabolic rate slightly goes up, your bleeding through your vagina. You need more food. You cannot be eating the same amount of calories as you would regularly eat. But if you're going to still try and restrict yourself in terms of calories, then you're going to try and want to eat all kind of junk food which will give you, or sugary food which will give you immediate spike in insulin. And you don't want to do that. You'd rather eat, good calorically dense but also nutritionally dense food. So make sure that you're taking in a little bit more calories than you would regularly take. Remember, you're also training for muscle gain at this time, so all the extra calories you'll be taking will be going and feeding your muscles, and which is a good thing, which is not a bad thing, and you'll build a little bit more muscle mass than you would regularly do. So when you have your menstrual cycle, also the other thing to remember is do not cut down on carbs at this time. Carbs is brain food. Carbs is going to help you boost up your serotonin level, and carbs is going to help you, because think about it, you're low insulin in the body, and if you're not feeding yourself carbs and you're not eating enough carbs, then that would mean that your cortisol levels are going to shoot up again, which is your stress hormones going to shoot up, and your body is going to try and store onto every single calorie you're eating, which will in turn lead to weight gain and not to weight loss. So make sure you're eating enough carbs during your menstrual cycle. And when I say carbs, I mean unprocessed whole food carbohydrates, no breads, no pastries, no cakes, and none of that kind of carbohydrates, but like vegetables, fruits, legumes, pulses, whole grains like rice. Rajma chawal would be a very good example of something you should be eating. What else? What's a good example? Quinoa and millets and beans and all of that kind of carbohydrates. Make sure that you're filling up on that unprocessed, non-sugary carbohydrates, but not the the processed bakery sugary kind of carbs. That's not what I mean. But if you're going to pump up your carbs, then that will keep your blood, and as long as you're eating unprocessed carbs, your blood glucose level will be monitored and kept under check. You're not going to have cravings, you're getting enough calories in, so you will not eat a lot of junk food. If you're on some kind of a diet where you're on a low carb and you're not eating a lot of carbs, then it would be a good idea to schedule which you should not be. How would you be on a low carb diet when you can lose weight on a high carb diet? I don't get it. But if you are, then it would be a good idea to schedule your cheat meal around your menstrual cycle week. Instead of do not miss out on gym, schedule a cheat week around this meal. Reason being that you need that extra calories in, and having one cheat meal will stop you from having an entire week of cheating. So just schedule a cheat meal around, or just make sure you're taking a lot of unprocessed good source of carbohydrates, which is gonna help you keep your hormonal levels in check, help you with muscle gain. Do you need to really increase your protein intake during this time? I don't think so. If anything, drop your fat a little bit to make sure that you're not storing any body fat, but we anyways get a lot more protein than we need. So even though you're building muscle mass, I don't think you really need to go and take that extra half a scoop of protein. If anything, it's going to cause bloating, so no, don't take proteins. Also, right before your periods, right before you get your menstrual cycle, when I told you to fill up on micronutrients, all kinds of vegetables and fruits which you're taking in for your micronutrients. The vegetables and fruits have a lot of fiber, which will help push out the bloating. Now estrogen, one of the things estrogen does is, and the change in hormonal levels in the body, and the change in hormonal levels in the body is going to cause a lot of water, retain a lot of water, and cause a lot of bloating, and you just don't want to look at yourself in the mirror because you feel bloated and sick. It's not fat, it's only bloating. So one, do not step on the scale and then make yourself even more sad. But the other thing is fill up on a lot of green vegetables and just vegetables and fruits in general. No juices, vegetables and fruits, where you're getting a lot of fiber to push out all the excess water and toxins out of the body when you're getting your menstrual cycle. So that's your pre, and then during you'd have a lot of good quality carbohydrates and do a lot of weight training. So that covers the nutrition aspect. The last aspect is special cases. Now, even though I tell people that you need to work out during your menstrual cycle, it is very, very person specific. It depends on your body type. Do not push yourself. I mean, there's two ways to look at it. A lot of people just find it as an excuse to not go to the gym. Once you go to the gym, you know you're going to feel much better. Even though you're in a lot of pain and you go to the gym, you know you're going to feel much better once you finish the workout session. So don't find this as an excuse, and think about it. If you take 3 days off every time you get your periods, and you get your periods 12 times in a year, that's like taking a little more than a month off. Like you take 1 month off the entire year to not work on your health goals. That's not okay. That's like taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. There's for other people who say कुछ हो नहीं रहा है, I've been dieting forever and I've been, no, you can't take like 2 steps forward and then 1 step back and then expect results. It's not going to happen. So I don't think there's an excuse. Your menstrual cycle should not, it's not a disease, guys. It's your menstrual cycle. It's normal. Everyone, half the population in the world gets it. So you should not be taking the day off. But if for some reason, I mean, there are special cases like, let me give you an example. People suffering from endometriosis, which is abnormal tissue growth, if you have a lot of pain in your lower abdomen, then maybe you need to get yourself checked to make sure that it's not anything serious. And if it is anything serious, then your doctor is going to guide you in terms of what kind of exercise regimen you need to follow. Do not push yourself if you are in a lot of pain. It's a sign that there's something not right with your body and you need to get yourself checked. It goes with people with fibroids, or what fibroids basically is like a non-cancerous growth in your uterus wall. If you have fibroids, then you need to get yourself checked. Or if you have too much pain, the symptoms are basically just a lot of pain, abdominal flow. You just have very, very heavy flow. So if it's something like that, or just irregular periods, then you need to get yourself checked. And if you get yourself checked, then this video does not technically apply to you. I mean, you'd have to, your workout schedule would be very, very different as directed by your physician or your health expert. But if you do not have any of these, or if you do not have any special cases, then there's no reason to go and skip gym. How much, what kind of intensity should you train on? Again, depends on your body type. And I mean, your menstrual, if you're on a good diet and a good fitness plan for the rest of the month, then your period should just come and go. You should not even know. I mean, mostly when I have my menstrual cycle, it's like my regular, I except for a little bit of discomfort, obviously, there's nothing painful about it. I don't even know when my periods just come and go. Very rarely do I get a lot of cramping and lower back pain, maybe just for like a couple of hours right after I get my menstrual cycle, but that's about it. Except for maybe heavy deadlifting, I do pretty much everything in the gym. I would go and break PRs if I feel like breaking PRs on that particular day. But it's a lot of heavy intense weight training and I feel fine, but that's not the case with everyone. If you are someone whose menstrual cycle is bad and your flow is really heavy, then don't do heavy weight training, but still go and do weight training. It's okay, it's not going to hurt you. Also, people say not to do a lot of inversions and yoga poses. I mean, think about it. Are you spending anything more than 20 seconds doing a yoga pose or an inversion? And if you're not, it's okay. The 20 second is not going to kill you, trust me, and it's not going to have any kind of very negative effects on your body. And if you're someone who's doing the yoga pose for longer than 5 minutes, then you're an expert and you're probably not watching this video. But apart from that, it's not going to really have a very, very big effect on your body. So do not be very concerned about the negative effects of what will happen if you go work out. I think you should be more concerned about what will happen if you do not go work out and the changes in hormonal levels in the body. And also remember, because of the rise in estrogen, every calorie you're consuming additionally, it's going to store as body fat, because that's what estrogen does. It's going to hold on to as much fat as possible. So especially because of a lot of hormonal changes and your cravings and temptations to be eating a lot of food, you're going to gain weight if you also completely avoid exercise when you have your menstrual cycle. So do not do that. Guys, it's completely safe and absolutely fine, unless you fall under the category of special cases, to go and work out during your menstrual cycle. If scheduled well, you could actually see very, very good results and manipulate your body into seeing the kind of results you want, gain more muscle mass and lose more fat. So that's about it. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Please subscribe to my channel if it was. Give this video a big thumbs up and also share it with anyone who might find it beneficial. I know there's a lot of taboo just talking about menstrual cycle in general, but I really think more and more women need to be educated about it, and so blindly following what your personal trainer says. Because I've seen this in gyms. I've seen women going up to personal trainers and personal trainers just be like, oh, just take a few days off, you have your periods, when they don't even know. Because they don't know how to deal with it. And I just wish there was more education. So share this with your friends and give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Cheers guys, have a good day, bye.